Good day. I am Dr.Rema.V, Professor&Head, Department of English and Foreign Languages, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Rampauram campus. I am here to present before you and give you a few idea about listening models. All of you are very much aware that listening is one of the most difficult skills among the LSRW skills. However, if we adopt some of the listening models, we may be able to be better listeners and active listeners. So, the first type of listening or listeners are the combative or the competitive listeners. So, combative listening is the style where the goal is to somehow push the opponent to listen to their own view or opinion. So rather than actively listening to the message of the person who is initiating the communication, these combative listeners are having their own formulations of counter attack, and they are waiting for opportunities to hijack the conversation from the communicator and interject their view. These combative or competitive listeners are consistently analyzing discourse. It's mainly to identify flaws in their counterparts' thought processes. So this would be effective when you are doing a debate, but it should be definitely be done within the rules and norms of the debate. This is mostly adopted by maybe politicians when they are campaigning for their parties. The next is passive or attentive listening. While the passive attentive listener may be interested in what a co-worker is communicating, they are not to a point in the conversation where they are actually willing to listen to a response. So it is the lack of response that causes those that are trying to initiate a communication, that is the sender, to feel that they are not taken well by the communicator. A person trying to communicate with the passive listener may feel that the listener is uninterested in the conversation. And this is very much evident through the body language of the listener. So they may also be left wondering if the intended message was correctly understood. So these are the drawbacks of passive listening. The next is active reflective listening. So, this is actually the type of listening that we should all focus on. So, in this type of listening, which is active reflective listening, the listener gives their 100% complete attention to the person relaying the message. So, the active reflective listener keeps their focus on the conversation, then asks questions to clarify their queries after the conversation is over or after the communication is over, and listens without casting any judgment. Active reflective listening is the type of listening that actually facilitates effective communication. So, don't we have to be active reflective listeners? Let us reflect on that. Now, this listening is very, very important not only for the co worker, more so for a leader. So, if you want to be an effective listener, you have to be an effective. If you want to be an effective leader, you have to be an effective listener. So, effective leaders, they listen and they learn to listen actively. So, the first skill that they must possess is paying attention. So the leader should show respect to those who communicate with by setting a comfortable tone and allowing ample time for the other person to speak unhurriedly. They have to stay focused on the moment while paying attention to their frame of mind and body language. The second skill is withholding judgment, which is very important. As a leader, it's important to remain open to new ideas. It's essential for strong leaders to withhold criticism and judgment, even when they have strong views on the others. As an active listener, it is best to avoid arguing or any effort to support our own perspective unless we are asked to or given permission. The third is they have to reflect. It's important to assume that you correctly understand the information presented to you. So, paraphrase whatever you have back to the speaker so that they can be assured that really listened to them and understood them. So, reflecting indicates that you are both on the same side during your conversation. The fourth skill is clarifying. By asking open ended, thoughtful, and probing questions, you are encouraging those you communicate with to expand on their ideas. They are very much motivated. So, asking questions also invites reflection and thoughtful responses. Asking questions indicates you are actively listening. The fifth skill is summarizing. So, summarize the critical themes throughout the conversation. And when you do that, that confirms that you have fully comprehended your counterpart's point of view. Briefly summarizing what you have understood as you listen and ask the person you are speaking with to do the same. This strategy will help ensure you are both on the same page. At the end of your conversation, it is also recommended to summarize mutual responsibilities or an anticipated new step. The last skill is sharing. The purpose of active listening is about ensuring that you have understood the concerns of the person you are communicating with and you are interested in sharing and also being understood. So, as you gain a clear understanding of their perspective, consider interjecting a few similar experience or similar examples with them that was triggered by the points made earlier in the conversation. So, common experiences, when they are shared, they are helpful in building trustful relationships. So, these are the different types of listening models, and these six skills are the skills that an effective leader will require, because effective leadership is nothing but effective listener. So, thank you for listening.